What's up, guys? Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to another GrooveDock video, because of course I couldn't sit still and I had to do some new iterations, new improvements on the design that I've shown you like a week ago or so. So as you can see, we have changed colors now, but at least they're just a single color instead of a mismatch of different colors. And as you can probably tell, there's some new parts over here. Mainly, we have now a MIDI controller with some encoders, and a new way of putting this all together, right? And I've also fixed some issues, or not issues, but I fixed some of the design flaws because some cables were showing, and I've managed to fix them all up. And I thought that, you know, the best way to kind of show it to you was kind of like do a walkthrough of me putting the device all together, right? And hopefully I will not take too much of your time. I just want to show you what it looks like in the end, and kind of talk about some aspects of it, and maybe you'll get acquainted more to the hardware and everything and how it all comes together in the end. Of course, this is not the last version of this, because I already have new ideas for future improvements, but yeah, like I'll get to that later on. Anyway, we're starting out with the main piece, of course, and this is like the base box, the hexa box as I call it. It's a single piece, very sturdy, very sturdy. I've added some hexa patterns below, like on the bottom, just to improve the thermals. Not that it was actually a problem, but this way I'm a little bit more, you know, it's a little easier on the computer. I've actually, and maybe this is overkill, but I've actually removed the bottom part of the computer, and now it's just sitting just like this on the box bed. And you can probably tell that I have a bit of what looks like gum, old gum over there, and that's just sticky kind of paste. You know, it's something that I'm using just to make things hold still when they're inside the box. I hate that it rattles. Not that it does a lot, but since there's a bit of tolerance in terms of the spaces when I've actually mapped on the 3D model, there's a bit of you know, there's a bit of space between the actual device and the box, and to kind of make it better, I've added those bits. Maybe I could do with some kind of rubberized tape of some sorts, you know, it'll look better, but that's what I had at hand. And so that's what I chose to, or not chose, that's what I used, basically. And so it just fits like this. Once it's there, yeah, it doesn't come out very easily, which is good. You know, I want it to feel solid, and one of the things that make it feel solid is the fact that it doesn't rattle, you know. And then we have the next part, which is the Focusrite. And like I've mentioned before, the reason why I'm using this is just because I had one laying around here, so it wasn't being used, and I thought it would be a nice thing to add to the whole setup. I've been having some problems with it because, and I've learned, like after some investigation, I've learned that it happens in a very specific situation, which is when I try to add something on the input, it tends to distort everything, and there's crackles and there's distortion on the audio. It's not really pleasant. When I'm using just the outputs, it sounds fine. I mean, my LiveTrack L6, my Zoom LiveTrack L6 is still better than this. But since I cannot include my LiveTrack 6 in this setup due to size constraints, this is the next best thing. In the future, I'll probably look for a better audio interface that I can put here, because this is just only has like one input, a mono input, and that's not ideal when sampling. And so this will not be the final part, but at the same time, I want to look for something that, you know, it's that is good and is not very expensive, because one of the goals for this project is to have the best bang for the buck. So everything here is down to a budget, and right now I think in parts altogether it's cost a total of 200 euros or so. So it's so far it's been very cost efficient, and that's not counting, of course, software. But I do want to keep it that way. Like, I do want to keep it cost efficient, and so I have to look for the best option in terms of audio interface. This, as you can tell, is a little bit not saggy, but it's rattling a little bit. I'll, just for the sake of the time spent here, I won't be bothered to kind of perfect this right now. But I would add something there or something there in order to stabilize it, make it feel sturdy, you know? But after this, we kind of have to do some cable management. And honestly, this is one of the worst parts of this build, because as you can see, space is a little bit cramped. Could probably make it better if I had some sort of right angles, you know, for the HDMI and everything. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but for now, I think this is good enough. And maybe I should have put the cables together when I started assembling this, but I didn't. All right, so this one is in. And now for the USB, and it's just this. And you may ask, but Saul, you're not using the line outs, the included line outs, the ones on the back. Yeah, that's a design flaw for now, because I can't really have the front part and the back part all showing at the same time without having like some kind of weird shape to this. So for now, I'm focusing mostly on the front, the front part of the audio interface. My idea for the future would be to have like some kind of you know, small cables here to here, and solder them to, you know, one of those plugs that you see in all of the devices, have them like glued, fixed here, so I could stick, you know, like an actual product, like an actual final product. But I don't know how to solder. I do want to try that in the future. I have to learn how to solder, because that will actually help me in other things. But for now, yeah, I mean, I can, and I have just open the box and slid the cables under here to here, and they'll stick out here. I mean, that's what the hole is for. But yeah, I would prefer to have something more, you know, something that looked a little bit more professional, you know. And yeah, like cable management with these cables is not so bad. I used to have like this really long cables here, and with these, not so bad actually. Maybe not the best cables for this, but you know, it works. And the last cable is the one that plugs into the screen, and I'll talk about the screen in a jiffy. But for now, I'll just plug the oh wait, this is actually pretty cool, because the screen gets data, power, and picture. What I mean is it gets the touchscreen data, the power, and the HDMI picture. No, not the HDMI. I'm sorry. I'm making a mess of all of this. It gets data from the touchscreen and also power from these USB alone. And that's, you know, that's actually great. I've ordered a shorter cable for this. I'm waiting for it in the mail along with other goodies that I want to implement in future builds, of course. Because I don't have another one like these. And these actually have to be like a specific type of cable because it needs to be, you know, one of the more powerful ones. But I'll just do some cable management over here. And actually, I'm doing all this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm forgetting that I don't need the cables to go through here anymore because I've added this to the equation. I'll show you how I use them. You know, this thing of talking, thinking about what I wanted to talk, and actually doing things. I'm still not very good at that, so I kind of fumble a little bit. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I actually respect what loop up. I think it's loop up. That's the way you say it. What they do, because it's like they're able to just in one take, just be able to talk about endlessly and really calmly about a product, and that's like in a soothing voice and everything. It's just amazing. It's like it's a really, I don't know, the way I see it, it's like a really, that guy really has control over the way he talks and what he needs to do and how to say it in a cool way. And he explains everything very thoroughly. I don't know if he's reading from a script, but it doesn't seem so, really. So kudos to him. Anyway, now that the cable management is more or less done, we can go to the next step, which is the screen. And the screen, as I mentioned before, is just a cheap touch screen from AliExpress. It's full HD though, so 1080p, and this just some sticky tape to hold it together. And yeah, like I said, the same cable gives it power and also provides the touch, like the data touch, the touch data to the computer. And then there's a specific HDMI cable for the picture, of course. And what I've done is actually create its own enclosure. That is this, and it's divided in two. So it's like a frame basically. And I've actually added these Visa, I think that's how you say it, these Visa holes in case you or I want to hold the computer together. As you can see, they line up. I ended up not using it because I need as much space as I can here, and if I put it in the middle, what will happen is that I won't be able to fit these. So that's why the sticky tape is there, just kind of holds it together. There's a lot of things that I need to improve on the design if I ever want to release it or sell it. But for now, yeah. For now, this works for me. And so, yeah, the plugs, they all go here. And maybe I should first, you know, that's the thing with talking and doing things. I'll plug these full corners here. So, of course, that's why this cutout is here. It's just to make sure that everything fits. And as you can tell, it's like it's the tolerance is really, really small. Now, I'm going to put the top frame here. One thing that I've tried in this last iteration, the most recent iteration, this is full of fingerprints actually, is to try with different plates. I don't know if you know anything about 3D printing, but the plates where you print actually give it texture. So, for example, if you look below here, there's like this texture that it's kind of creepy. So it's really good. But since this is going to be like the top, I tried with some new plate that we had there. It kind of gives it like this shiny look to it. I don't know if it'll go well on camera, but it looks kind of cool. Yeah. Anyway, this is how it looks like, when it's fully assembled. And then what you do is you basically put it together with the bottom. There's probably some cables not put together quite right, because there's this thing right here. But yeah, this is how, when it's just in touch mode, let's put it like that. When it's just in touch mode, this is how it looks like, right? I forgot to plug it in with the power, but the power cable would be connected through here. And when it's in this mode, what you can do is use this little stand thing that I've built. You put it here. You'll connect whatever down here. There are two USB ports down here. So I don't know, maybe you want to use a mouse, or it actually has Bluetooth support, so you can use a mouse directly with the computer. But I don't know, you may want to use some kind of MIDI keyboard or anything. You can do that. You can put it here in front of you and just like use it. You can connect gear to it. The headphone cables would connect to this side. It's just like that. Now, the new mode is what I'll call, I don't know, MIDI mode, pad mode, whatever. And basically what you do is, I'll remove this. I have to remove all the cables because they're gonna fit in different places. I have these controller over here. And as you can see, I've gutted it. It also has sticky tape, and it's tearing me apart, Lisa. Okay, oof, buttons all over the place. Yeah, like I've gutted this in order to use it in my setup. I don't even know where the rest of the parts are, but this is an VAV or VAV or whatever. It's an AliExpress controller. MIDI controller that works with cable, both with cable and with Bluetooth. Also has a 3.5 jack for MIDI, and it also has an internal battery. So it's kind of like it's kind of cool because I can use it with cables, or I can use it with Bluetooth. And I've printed some custom knobs for it to make it taller, because the other ones, the ones that it came with, were very, very short. And I've gutted it. I'm using the bottom plate just to have it, grounded, and because it has some grooves here that kind of align with the pads to make it feel more solid. But then what I did was like basically made a full enclosure for it. And yeah, this is not professional at all. This is just more of that paste, kind of keep it all together at a height that makes it usable. But then what you do is grab this, and yeah, as you can see, it looks very close to the bottom plate of the screen, but instead of having like a full groove over here or whatever, it's just over here at the top. Because what will happen is the cables that were supposed to go from to the screen will go through here now. And if you're thinking that this is very fussy, it it kind of is, but then again, I won't be removing the guts out of this all the time. It's supposed to be modular, but this part will stay as is, you know, because I won't be needing to remove the insides of this part, right? So, I mean, of course, I have the thing here with the cables, but maybe I can manage to find a way that makes this easier. Anyway, I'll put this all in place. So allow me to just fumble a little bit more. Hopefully this is enough. Okay, I think this is it. And for the final touch, there you go. And now it's in full pad mode. If I wanted, I could use, since this is Bluetooth compatible, I can use the pads in Bluetooth mode. I could have it in touch mode and then just have the pad module up here and use it as such, you know, kind of like a wireless pad of sorts made just for this setup. But yeah, I mean, this is it, fully put on. And yeah, like, of course there's gonna be some compromises in terms of speed, how fast you put it together and everything. But I think that in terms of usability, it's actually pretty nice, and this feels pretty solid. Actually, I was really surprised by this. I was afraid that it would feel like spongy, you know, because I've removed the guts, like the overall structure of the pads. I removed all of it, but because the bottom plate is so strong, it actually feels pretty good. Not the pads, you know, not that this is the best controller ever, because it isn't, and it has some. I've noticed that it has some sensibility issues when you just lightly put it. But I think like the base version, like the original version, let's put it that way, when it was all back together, it already has some issues with that. So it's not like I've made it a lot worse. That's what I mean. But yeah, this is it. This is our endless encoders. So they are very useful instead of, you know, having like set rotations. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can show you. I'm really proud of how it looks, and especially in this color. I think this color suits really well the overall thing that I'm trying to accomplish here. Of course, I still need to improve a little bit. Like, for example, you can see the PCB from here. It was a pain in the butt to actually make all of these align. Oh, you you won't believe it was not amazing. But I think like it's I don't know, I think it's usable. It's very usable. And over the next days and weeks, I want to show you some possibilities in terms of use cases. So expect more videos on this, like actual usage from this. I've actually just bought Bitwig instead of using just the demo. They have like a really cool promotion right now. By the way, not sponsored at all. Not sponsored by Bitwig, but they have this cross-grades edition in Thomann and Plugin Boutique, I think, where you can actually buy the full version, the studio version of Bitwig for 200 euros if you prove that you have another DAW. So that's what they mean by cross-grade. And I snatched it because I believe that because of its touch mode, it'll be perfect for the usage that I want to have with this particular device. And besides that, I already have some other softwares that I want to use. Like, for example, there's this really can't remember the name of it right now, but that's like a VST host. Just that I want to use. It's compatible with Windows and also with Linux, which I also have here. It's like this is like a dual boot system. And I also have another project, and I also forgot his name. He contacted me on Reddit in a reply about the whole thing that I've shown there, and he made a kind of touchscreen controller that is compatible with Ableton. I haven't used it yet, but I think that it can really improve the way that I use the software if I can build like custom interfaces for it, right? It's one step closer towards the goal that I have, which is to make this feel as close as purpose-built hardware. And I know I feel like I need to touch on this subject. I know that this is not Dawless, and I believe I made a sort of a small mistake in the way that I've presented it before, because I've said it like it's a Dawless companion. I mean, to me, in my headcanon, it is, but I do understand the people that say that this is this can't be Dawless because it actually runs a DAW. I mean, it's what the hell are you doing, Saul? But the reason why I say that is because this is the way that I know how to kind of connect the gear that I have, the external gear that I have, and also the software. Using a DAW is the only way how. If I knew how to program, if I knew how to code, I would try to come up with some kind of operating system that could boot up directly and just, you know, use features, you know, audio features directly from that. I don't think it's possible. I haven't found any software that allows for that, so I'll keep trying to achieve that hardware feel as much as possible, but still using a normal operating system, either Windows or Linux, whatever feels best in my investigations, and with whatever software I feel that is best for the things. But that goes into another concept that I have for this device, which is flexibility. I mean, it's the whole reason why I'm doing this is because I want flexibility in the way that I use my external gear. I don't want to spend not thousands, but hundreds of euros on gear just because I want to transform or experiment with a different type of use case or whatever, which is what I find with Dawless is that, yeah, it's great to use the gear because it's very tactile, it's very intuitive, you know, you're using it, you get in the moment, you jam, and that's great. But the problem is if you want to deviate, if you want to experiment or whatever, it starts to become like a mess, and then it's kind of a bummer, especially when you know that a computer can do certain things so much better. So if there's a way to kind of mix it all together, it would be perfect. And that's, you know, one of the goals, and not spend a whole lot of money. But that's it for now. Maybe in the next video. So I already said that my next videos, they're going to be about some use cases. I have and I think I'm gonna do them like when I come here and start from zero and show you what it's like, because I'm gonna test them myself. I haven't used this device that much in actual jams and everything. But another thing that I want to do is maybe talk about what I would like to do with this. But expect more videos on this soon. Of course, other types of content, I don't wanna stop doing it as well. So I'll be posting other stuff as well. But for now, I am out. All right, just keep jabbing, keep having fun, and I'll see you on the next one.